Hey guys, hi. So we're continuing the Ketu in the fourth in the amazing series. So Ketu in one line is going inwards, trying to understand the nature of things, trying to understand why we behave in, however we're behaving. It's always self-assessment, self-inquiry. It's always inwards. Okay. The fourth is called the Sukha Bhava, the house of happiness, but what it really means is the house of deeper values which you have gained through your own experience. Now, earlier I said the second house was values and things that you learn. This that was given by a third party, the family members, which was imbibed on you, your teachers, your schoolmates, people who you're very close with, probably even your neighbors, right? All these values was given from another point, another person, a different person's point of view. So, which is why it's the things that we get when we were younger. Of course, the third is where you explore things in life and you come to realize something, okay, and that realization is your own values. Okay, you develop your own sets of values, and when you have your own genuine values, the genesis of it, okay, will give you happiness, which is why it's Sukha Bhava, because you are not following someone else's point of view, right? You are assessing based on your own understanding, and from there a clean, genuine value is being developed within you, and that value always it gives us peace of mind and happiness, which is why the fourth is called Sukha Bhava. Okay, now because it's deep inside within, and it goes really deep within our realm of understanding of things, which is why it's associated with one's mother. Because it is not true, but then it is a common thought that you can always talk to your mother in a very deep level where you can really understand what things are. You can really express yourself, which is why the fourth always associates with the mother. But again, as you know, it is just a karaka. Okay, and this karaka changes from time to time. But the very principle of the fourth house is having your own values. Okay, values based on your own understandings and perception. Okay, so what are the five amazing things if you have a well-positioned Ketu in an unafflicted fourth house? Okay, now the first one is the ability to be. Now this is a bit difficult for me to say, but let me think a bit. Yeah, okay. So these people have connection with the other world, the other dimension. Okay, so sometimes they hear things, sometimes they see things. Okay, what do they hear, what do they see is something is only for them to know. Okay, so if you have a well positioned Ketu in the fourth house, I'm sure you had this kind of experiences, right? My clients who have this, they talk about this to me, and it's very fascinating. I don't have this, so I don't have much of this level of divine intuition. I may have intuition, but not as divine as this. But these people, they do have. So if you have Ketu in the fourth, and sometimes you hear things, sometimes you see things, right? Sometimes you experience something, a sensation, and you just cannot explain, then that is the power that you have. Okay, so it's not to be alarmed, not to be afraid or anything. This is just that your frequencies are attuned to those divine beings. Okay, so you are sensitive towards their receptive, right, to their frequencies. Okay, so by having that, your gut feeling, your intuition becomes strong. So if you want to make a decision and all that, you will get sign from these beings. Okay, and from there you have a decision making process, and the decision will be then based on those signs, and it's always for your benefits. Okay, so if you have Ketu in the fourth, well positioned and all that, these divine intuitions is truly something fascinating and amazing. I would say it's truly amazing. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is these people, they are mysterious in nature. Ketu itself is mysterious. think about it. It doesn't have a head. Okay, it has the head of a serpent. Um, it is iconographically saying that a person doesn't, you cannot connect with this person, right? Think about it. If you don't have a face, okay, if you don't have a face, how are you going to interact with the person when you don't have the face? You just don't know how this person is reacting, right? Nothing about this person can be understood. It is so mysterious, it's so baffling, right? But there's an advantage when Ketu is well positioned in the fourth, okay, if it's in a good position, in a good dignity. The advantage is these people, they do not share things much, right? They don't share things. They have a lot of knowledge, but they keep it to themselves. Okay, they don't believe in, how can I say this? If it's something to do with teaching someone, that's a different thing. They go all out teaching someone, but simply sharing what they know without being asked or anything like that is something they won't do. You can think of them like an introvert. Okay, they'll be always quiet and silent, and they don't really talk much. There's not much of a socializing qualities in them. But when you ask them something, then you'll see a fountain of information just pouring out like that, right? And why is this amazing from my experience is that because there's the element of surprise. Now, if you don't know what the person is thinking, you don't know what is the person is trying to do, it's always an advantage, isn't it? Especially for those, ill hatred, jealousies, what else? People who are competitive in nature, they won't have a clue what this person is going to do next. So I thought, while I was looking at my book on my own data, and when I was, going through that, I realized that, oh yes, it's true. These people have that advantage because you don't reveal anything. Now, when you don't reveal anything, then it's for your competitors or rivalries or whoever out there, they don't have the slightest clue. So you always one step ahead. You always have the added advantage. Okay, the element of surprise. Okay, that's the second one. The third is they have this. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Now, in a family, sometimes we see that a certain family member may not be in alignment. Okay, there's always one odd in the house. So you tend to feel that, okay, if this person can change a little bit, okay, if this person can be a little bit sensitive on how the family operates as a unit, okay, so you try to change this person. Okay, sometimes it's not one, sometimes the entire family needs to be changed, right? So you have this feeling, and of course it's very noble, it's very loving, it's beautiful, because you're trying to change a family member so that they will be all in a unit. We live in harmony. That is your intention. Okay, but that doesn't really work, because you can never change another person. The only person whom you can change is you yourself. Okay, because when you try to change the other person, you're going against harmony, because you're trying to instill an idea which the person doesn't have, or the person knows but do not want to do. Okay, either way, it is changing. It is not a process of creating the balance. Okay, and so Ketu knows this very well. So when Ketu is well positioned in the fourth house, Ketu does this. It tells you, okay, so look, okay, if you need to change someone, then you need to change your own thoughts, your own strategies. That is the only way, because by changing your own strategies and tactics, then you can create this harmony and balance. Okay, that is the correct way of creating happiness in a family, not by changing the other family member, but changing yourself to see how can you suit yourself to be in a harmony with the other family member, right? So of course Ketu is a malefic graha. So if you don't understand this, and you keep trying to change your family members, okay, um, let's say for example, if you have a brother who doesn't really enjoy sitting in the dining table or eating. He is always alone, sitting alone, and trying to do his stuff and all that, never connecting, as a unit. Never have this thought that, all right, this is a family, and whatever problems there is, you need to sit together and talk. Say if you don't have a brother like that, okay, who's always trying to be, if there's a problem, it's your thing, you don't get me involved. They always detach, and you want to change this person, and you go and tell him, okay, look, next time there's a problem, come and sit with us, join us, we are a family, as a unit. It doesn't work, right? But then you change your strategies, you change the way to approach him, you make him feel that he is an important and integral member in the family as a unit, and then the entire thing changes, right? So that's the thing. The Ketu in the one, the first house does that. Now let's say if you don't understand, if you try to keep changing your brother, right, in this example, then what Ketu will do is, okay, let's remove this person. Okay, let's put this person somewhere else. Okay, maybe Ketu will create a situation to make your brother work somewhere else. Maybe overseas somewhere. Have job replacement or things like that. You need to go to another country, and then he is not in the family now, so you're missing him now. In that time of detachment, you will realize, I shouldn't have been putting all these things on my brother for him to change. I should have got to in his shoes and try to understand what was his problem. Why wasn't he communicating with the family? You see how Ketu works, right? It's very subtle, it's very discreet, it's indirect. So it gives this kind of thing until you understand. All right? Okay, so that's the, sorry it's a bit lengthy, but I needed to explain that. So that's the third one. The fourth. The fourth is an interesting one. When you were much younger, okay, you always had this dream job that you wanted to do, or something that is not even a job, something that you want to do when you grow up, isn't it? Okay, for example, you wanted to be a dancer, for example, okay, when you were young. You love the way, the choreography, you love how the body connects with the mind and it's in union, right? Everything, when you move, you are in sync with your mind, body, and soul. Everything comes together. Dancing is a meditative process. Come to think about it, right? So that is something core to you. But of course, there comes this big thing that slams the door right in the face and says, "Hey, there's something called life. Get serious. Grow up. Get a job. Get a proper job. Stop thinking about dancing," right? And of course, we follow that. And then the ravages of time, bosses, work, clients, and then family, children, whatnot, credit card bills, whatnot, just keeps coming, adding more and more and more. And your initial idea, your initial desire, your initial intention of being a dancer is just gone. The ravages of time, right? It really pushes you down. But Ketu the fourth doesn't do that. Ketu the fourth says, okay, you need me to get a job. I understand. Maybe dancing is not the right thing for me. I can't afford to do that. I need to get my own job. So it does that, but it never lets go of it. It's always side by side. Okay, it never pushes away your desire. It never pushes away what you really, really want in life. It's highly spiritual in that sense. Okay, it doesn't disregard it. It doesn't create that dissonance between your passion and what you want. It's always in sync. Okay, fine. I work for 10 hours. Fine. After that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to join the classes. I'm going to continue my dancing. It doesn't matter. Tired, late. I didn't. I skipped my dinner. Whatever. End of the day, I want to do that, and it does it with the fullness of its heart, right? It doesn't. You don't feel really reluctance, or you feel self-doubt or anything like that. You don't feel forced as well. You want to do it. That's what you do. Okay. So Ketu the fourth is that's one of the greatest thing it has. Okay. So that's the fourth one. And the last, but certainly not the least, is extrapolative. What I mean by this is that whatever it does, okay, it wants to know what is there additional to that. When someone comes and says something, it accepts it, but it wants to go even deeper than that. Now you would have noticed in other grahas this personality as well. Ketu has it too. Okay, Ketu has extrapolative power. It can go into the unknown, okay, and then find what is there in real. It likes to deep dive and uncharted areas and diving into the depths of things. All these things is Ketu's domain. It doesn't like to just accept things as it is. It likes to go deeper and find things. It likes to extrapolate stuff. Okay, so yes, those are the top 5 amazing things that Ketu in the fourth. If you have any of these things which I've just said, I'll be really excited to know. So please drop your comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Namaste.